Hey everyone, welcome to Why Aren't You, the show where I rant about things that I like for about 10 minutes. On today's plate today, we have a YouTube channel that came out of nowhere, skyrocketed in popularity, flew a little bit too close to the sun, and watched it all crash down around them. Sugar Pine 7, alternatively called Alternative Lifestyle, was a scripted vlog series created by Steven Suptic, Clayton Kib James, and James DeAngelis in March of 2017. Steve came up with the idea after he was fired from SourceFed and after SourceFed was dissolved completely.
Hey everybody, raise your hand if you still have a job.
SourceFed was this old news conglomerate that was started by Philip DeFranco back in mid-2010s. I think it was like 2014 or something like that. This was a way Steve would be able to work on something in between finding jobs. This was just a creative thing that he thought about and brought his friends Kib and James onto it. The series was originally stylized as your average vlog, following Steve and his daily adventures with Kib and James. However, most of the content in the Sugar Pine 7 videos were scripted, or at least planned out to an extent, and they became more convoluted with the stories they told and the background of some of the major and minor characters introduced. Throughout those years, the gang employed and adapted to many different new characters or crew members of the Sugar Pine 7 Club. One of the standouts that ended up staying the longest was Autumn Farrell, another SourceFed alum who initially joined on as an editor and hated being on camera. But eventually she warmed up to the idea of being an on-camera personality and became one of the favorites of fans.
Autumn. What the hell? We're teaching you a lesson.
Sugar Pine 7 released over 400 videos in their time, getting regular recognition from other YouTube powerhouses. In early 2017, the Sugar Pine 7 crew was approached and taken under the wing of the Rooster Teeth multi-channel network, giving the gang a more regular work schedule and deadlines and overall upper management, something they weren't really used to having with the ideas of Sugar Pine 7. In September of 2017, the show was also awarded the Streamy Award for Show of the Year, beating out juggernauts and veterans to the platform, like Good Mythical Morning and The Philip DeFranco Show. Ironically, DeFranco was one of Steve's first employers under the SourceFed network. Unfortunately, many factors went into Sugar Pine 7's cancellation by Rooster Teeth in May of 2019. The boys had worked hard on the channel and only worked on the channel, and they were starting to suffer from burnout. They also had a revolving cast of producers and editors and characters coming in and out, so there wasn't much of a consistency in the quality that fans had grown to appreciate. In my personal opinion, I think that they just tried to advance too much too quickly and tried too many things at once. Though the official Sugar Pine 7 lifestyle vlogs are no longer in production, every week, the channel releases a podcast hosted by Steven and Kib and James, and every so often they'll employ a guest that was either a previous character on the show or just one of their random friends. This podcast also ensures that fans of these three characters are kept up to date on whatever projects they're working on, as well as general buffoonery that they became known for. Sugar Pine 7 was a weird mix of actual writing and improv comedy. The first few videos of the channel were more improv-based, as the gang was trying to work out what they wanted the show to be. The energy between the cast of series regulars and guest stars is honestly amazing, as each new guest is able to bring something else to the table that the boys probably couldn't have brought on their own. The show borrows heavily from shows like Arrested Development and The Office, keeping a more mockumentary filming style. However, the series also evolves past that style every so often, especially when it's necessary to pull attention to an important moment and extend the mythos and the world building. It's at these moments where you can really see the talent of James and Steve as camera operators. Some of these shots can look gorgeous, be it because of the lighting or the movement or something else entirely. This style of show is heavily utilized in the Season 1 finale, Acrasia. After Acrasia, the show takes on a little bit more of a pseudo-written narrative. The guys would get together and plan out what they wanted the show to lead up to, even planning out ideas for certain episodes, but they would never sit down and write an actual script, as the magic comes from the improv of the three playing off of each other and whatever characters are in whatever episodes. They also talk about themes that they want to carry out throughout whatever season they're on. The first two seasons aren't too plot heavy and go on a little bit of an episodic approach.
It feels like we've been here for 10 minutes.
We're gonna summit now. We're doing the
Summit.
last haul.
This looks super dangerous.
And that it is, and that's why you have your good old pal Kib.
Jeremy's already at the top.
Watch out for snakes!
James, help. Pull me up, pull me up.
What are you
Grab
talking
my hand.
Season 3 gets a little bit more plot heavy as they decide to employ a through-line storytelling that at first didn't seem like a possibility. Find me another show that in the same episode as a group of guys makes a sex joke, one of the characters has a mental breakdown and has an anxiety attack about not being good enough to be a content creator, and their whole lifestyle depends on being funny. One of the funnier aspects of the show is Steve's narration throughout. It'll freeze frame in the middle of a scene for Steve to make some kind of interjection. His interjections will be told as if he is a news broadcaster, and that's the best way I can describe the voice.
Let this happen.
Today was the day my dad would finally be married to a girl that was a barely legal fraction of his age. It was disturbing. From the look on James's face, I could tell that he needed to lose weight. I wondered if he was excited the wedding would take place in his backyard.
He also employs background music during this voiceover that is also very reminiscent of news music, so that just adds to my confusion. All three of the boys make music together and have a few comedy songs attached to the channel. My favorite out of them, I think, is Cecilia, a song in which the main character falls in love with a random woman, soon deciding to turn against her for another woman that gave him a blowjob? I think that's what's implied in the video. I can't tell anymore.
Give me like 2 seconds to think
The song is really a fun time and takes an 80s synthwave aesthetic to it. Kib is also just a musician in general, so his vocal performance on the song really solidifies the whole experience. Even besides their production of music, the choice of music from the editors is impeccable. Usually opting for an indie pop or pop rock soundtrack, the videos tend to have a more modern vibe with them. Now for the goods. I try to make an approximation as to why you might not be watching the series, and why I think you should. I'll also try to answer some random questions I can think about beforehand. How many episodes are there? The playlist to the channel, I'll link down in the description, has 449 episodes attached to it. Over 400 episodes? That's way more than I expected since it was only around for a few years. That's very true, but they're usually pretty short episodes. Whereas your average TV show will run you around 22 minutes an episode, the alternative lifestyle videos will run you about 4 to 10. Quibi probably would have had a ball with it if people gave a shit about Quibi. If this show won an award, why didn't I hear about it? I've been on YouTube for years and I've never heard of this. I think this one has to do with YouTube's weird algorithm. I think the show wouldn't show up because it's not exactly advertiser friendly. At under 10 minutes, the show isn't heavily monetizable, and all in all, I don't think it had the quantity of fans that other shows had. However, some of the SP7 fans are the biggest fans that I've seen in a community, so that's something impressive. I mean, look at me. I don't usually buy YouTuber merch, but here I've got a hat, I've got a t-shirt, 2 sweatshirts, and my favorite pair of sweatpants. I think these are my favorite pair of sweatpants because they have the word Alfredo on the butt though, so who knows. Sugar Pine 7 can be viewed in its entirety on YouTube. I'll link the Supercut playlist made by a fan down in the description. So I suggest giving it a try. These guys worked really hard on a series that they put their heart and soul into, and I think they've all changed for the better because of it. I hope this channel doesn't die into obscurity, and with as many other video essays I've seen on it, I think there might be a resurgence in binge watching the series soon. I was heartbroken when SourceFed ended in 2017. It was super influential in my idea to go to film school and do video and film production work. Even working in front of the camera became something I was interested thanks to it. However, if it meant that Sugar Pine 7 would rise from the ashes, that makes the sting hurt a little less. But in any case, I thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. If you made it this far, I'll leave a link to my Twitter and Instagram down in the description, so you can follow me there for memes and pictures of my dog. Be sure to subscribe to my channel to keep updated on my videos, and if this is your first, welcome! I'll link a playlist to all my other Why Aren't You videos in the description. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.
But the music